Assalamu alaikum friends, my name is Bilal Khan and today is my 39th video of DevOps. So in this video I'm going to talk about Terraform Core and Terraform Plugin. Alright, so basically in this video we are going to create some resources on the GitHub repo. Alright, using the Terraform configuration files. Alright, we will create the resources here in the Terraform configuration files in the local machine, and once we will apply them, the GitHub repository will be automatically created in the GitHub. Alright, so first of all, visit a website. Let's click on this. And now as you can see that I am currently present in the registry.terraform.io. Alright, so in this registry you will see that there are multiple providers through which you can exchange the data, like Kubernetes, AWS Cloud Platform, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, Alibaba Cloud, Azure, and other major cloud providers that you can click on this if you click on See All. So popular providers such used with Terraform, including major cloud providers. All right. So before using these cloud providers, I want to show you that I will use the GitHub cloud provider because it is easy, and the people who are not aware of the AWS will not be able to understand this lecture. So I will use the GitHub repository, and in the future if I want to, I will make separate videos by using the AWS or Azure or other cloud provider that will be used there. Alright, so this is the registry through which you can find the cloud provider. So if I write GitHub, alright, you will see that it is going to search for me the GitHub registry. Similarly, if I want to click on the AWS, it will find the AWS for me. So let's click on this. This is the AWS provider. Alright, so if I write Azure, you will see that this is the Azure cloud provider, and these are the official cloud provider. If I click on any one of them, you will see that this is the Azure official cloud provider. So through these cloud providers I can use it in the Terraform. So let's further show it. It will show you all the providers in which you can create your Terraform infrastructure. All right. Now, through these cloud providers you can use the Terraform infrastructure. So you can create it. So how the Terraform will work in the infrastructure? All right. So first of all, this is a user, first a developer, and this developer will create a Terraform file, configuration file. All right, and then this configuration file will move to the Terraform core to create the resources, and these resources will be created in any one of the cloud provider. All right, and when the services or any one of the resources in these cloud provider are created, so in any cloud provider, if the resources are created, the state of this resource will be saved in the tf state file. Alright, so let's take a look at the description here. So first a developer will write a configuration file, or this is the configuration file. Then it will ask Terraform to create resources from them. Alright, so it will ask the Terraform to create the resources for them. Then the Terraform will create the resources on the AWS, DigitalOcean, or other cloud providers like these one. Alright. When the Terraform will create the resources, it will maintain the state of them in this file, tf state. Alright. After that, a question arises that how Terraform will create the resources. Alright. So although the resources are created in these providers, but how the resources will be created? So the answer for this is the plugin. Alright, the resources will be created with the help of plugins. So look at this diagram. This is the Terraform core that will create the resources. Alright, when you will mention that the cloud provider in the Terraform will download the plugin of that cloud provider. Alright, so when you will mention the cloud provider in the Terraform, and I will show you how you can mention the cloud provider in the Terraform configuration file. So when you will mention that cloud provider, that Terraform will download the plugin specific to that cloud provider. Alright. So for AWS it could be a different cloud provider. For Azure it could be a different cloud provider. For DigitalOcean it could be a different cloud provider. For GCP or Google Cloud Platform, it could be a different cloud provider. So these are different plugins that will be used, and the Terraform will download these plugins to communicate with the, to basically create the resources. Alright, so the plugins will be used to create the resources, and those plugins are different according to each of the cloud provider. So the Terraform will tell the plugin that it wants a particular resource on a cloud provider. Alright, so the cloud provider will know only with the help of plugin, and that plugin will tell the cloud platform to provide the resources, or with the help of Terraform. So every cloud provider plugin is different from other cloud provider plugin. Alright, as I have told you that every cloud provider will be different from other cloud providers based on the platforms like AWS, Azure, GCP, DigitalOcean, etc. Alright, so if you are working in an organization and that organization has in-house cloud provider, alright, so let's say if you are working in any of the organization and that organization does not use any famous cloud provider like AWS, Azure or GCP. Instead, the organization has created in-house cloud provider. Then in this case, if a particular cloud provider is not present, or if a particular plugin, sorry, I have not written the plugin here. So if a particular plugin is not present in that cloud provider, then you can create your own plugin. Alright, so it will also give you an option to create your own plugin using the Golang programming language, and then the Terraform will create the resources based on your own created plugin. Alright, so the plugin will be created based on the Terraform will create the resources based on your own created plugin. So it will also give you an option to create your own plugin. So that's awesome. So after that, let's create your first Terraform resource in the GitHub repository. Alright, so I have told you that I'm not going to use the AWS, GCP or famous cloud providers, because for those people who are new to AWS or cloud providers, they will not understand this lecture. So I will do it in an easy way using the GitHub repository, so you can know how you can do the how you can use how you can create your first Terraform resource. And in the future video, I will show you how you can do this in the famous cloud providers also. So first of all, create a directory by the name of Terraform first resource and get inside it by writing cd Terraform first resource. Alright, so let's go to the terminal and write make dir Terraform first resource. First resource. So now this directory is created. There is this one here. You can see that this is the directory. After that, I want to get inside it. I will write Terraform first resource. So now you can see that I'm currently present in this directory, newly created directory, but currently there is nothing present in it. So I will create a file in it by the name of terraform.tf. So let's create a file in it by writing terraform.tf touch terraform.tf. So now this file is created. Alright. So after that, go to the Terraform registry and search the cloud provider. Alright. So I have already gone through this this registry. So let's close this. And which one to search? Alright, so search the cloud provider. I will use the GitHub provider, which you can find it here. Alright, so let's click on this. You can search it here also if you want to. Let's say if I want to write GitHub, you will see that these are the providers. But if I click on the integrations, currently this integration is alright. This is present and it is working. Alright. So in my case, previously it was not opening, so I have opened another GitHub provider. So no problem. If it is working in your case, you can prefer this GitHub integration. So that's awesome. After that, you have to mention the cloud provider in your Terraform file so that it fetch the resources from that particular resource. Alright. How to mention the cloud provider? So let's click on the here use provider. If you click on this, you will see that this is the code that you need to copy. Let's copy this, and after that let's open the terraform.tf file, and after that press I and paste the code here. Alright, and now what you need to do is to delete this configuration options that is commented and leave it as it is. After that, move to the description. Open the terraform.tf and write the following data into it. Alright, so you can write this data. Now we want to add the resources in the GitHub provide. Alright, so how you can add the resources? To do this, go to the documentation. So let's go to the documentation. Here you can see. And now this is the documentation, and this is the example usage of it. Alright, so this is the usage that you can see, and let's compare this whether this is right or not. Resources, name, description, visibility, resources. Currently this example is not working, so no problem. I will basically I will prefer this one because this is an example of it, so you can check it out if you want to. But let's click on the resources, GitHub repository. Sorry, I have forgotten it. So let's find GitHub repository, GitHub repository file, GitHub repository. All right. So now this is the template. All right. So let's copy this, and if I paste it here, instead of pasting it, let's paste it here. As you can see that this resource is somehow similar to this resource. Alright, because I have pasted it earlier, and I will show you that what are the options here that are not present in this data. So in this block of code. So first of all, this is the resource, and this is the GitHub repository. So it will show me that you need to create a GitHub repository in the GitHub. And this is the example. So example is basically, it is a name that will be present in the local machine through which the Terraform will be identified. Alright, you can give it any name. You will see that in this block of code, first there is a GitHub repository that will show that it will create a GitHub repository. Alright. Terraform first repo. So I have given the name to example this one, Terraform first repo. So this name is a name through which Terraform will identify it in the local machine. Alright, so let's copy this and remove the example. I have removed it and paste it here. So through this name, the Terraform will be identified in the local machine. Alright, so after that name, so the name is the repository name. Alright, so when the repository will be created in the GitHub account, my GitHub account, the name of the repository will be this one. Alright, instead of example, write this name. And after that, the description would be like this. Alright, so let's copy this and paste it here. Let's remove this first of all, and the description is this one. Alright. After that, let's remove this space, and now let's delete this template because I don't need it. So let's delete it. Alright. So now the data is like this. But currently there is one option that is not written here, and that is auto init. So this auto init will basically be true, and it will go to the A. So here you can see that option auto init. Alright. So set to true to produce an initial commit in the repository. So the initial commit is the readme file that will be created in the repository if you want to. Alright, so I have set it to true. So now the readme file will be created. Alright, So I hope you understood that this is the GitHub repository command through which the GitHub repository will be created, and this is the identification of the Terraform in the local machine through this name. This is the name of the repository, this is the description, this is the visibility that is set to public. I have not set it to private, I have set it to public. And this is the auto init. Means the README file will be created, and all the data that I have shown you will be available in the GitHub repository. You can search it from here. Alright, so previously I have forgotten it, so you can click on this, find it here, and if you click on this it will lead you to this example. So that's working fine. So let's save this and press :WQ, and now if I show you the data, you will see that the data is present as it is. So after that, this is basically the description of each of the command that I have written. Description is the description of the repository. Visibility is public for repository. Alright, auto init will create a README file. Alright, and after that, let's run the Terraform plane. So the Terraform plane, we have seen in the previous video that it will only give us an output. Alright, so it was only working, it was only used for the output to be printed. But it has other works also, that like it will show you the plan, read the Terraform configuration in the current working directory, and tell you what the configuration will do. Alright, this is the main purpose of this Terraform plan, that it will show you the plan, means it will read the Terraform configuration files in the current working directory. So in the current working directory, this is the Terraform TF, and inside this is the configuration data. It will read the configuration data, the Terraform plan will read the configuration, and after that, after that it will tell you what the configuration wants to do. Alright, so it wants, basically in this configuration file, I want it to create a GitHub repository. So Terraform plan will show to the Terraform that it wants from us to create a GitHub repository. Alright, so Terraform providers will show you the providers that Terraform is currently using. So let's clear this and write Terraform. First of all, write Terraform plane, and you can see that it is currently giving me an error that inconsistent dependency log file. Why? Because I have not initialized the Terraform. So I will show you how you can initialize it, but first of all, let's write Terraform providers. So it will show me all the providers that are currently used in the configuration file. So I have used only one provider, that is GitHub. So if I want to, I can write other cloud providers also. So let's edit the data of the Terraform file, and let's say if I want to add another cloud provider like AWS. Alright, so now let's write the curly braces, and this AWS will also be added in this if I run the Terraform providers. So let's click on this. You will see that the GitHub and the AWS, both of the cloud providers are added into the Terraform providers. Alright, so let's clear this because I don't want to use the AWS currently. So press I, remove this provider, and then press escape, :WQ, and now if I write Terraform providers, you will see that only the GitHub is present. After that, if you type ls-a, it will give you only the Terraform file. So let's write ls-a, it will only give me the terraform.tf file. So you don't need to download and install the provider plugins manually. So I have shown you that the plugins will basically, what the plugin is in the previous, let's open it, the program, the Terraform will tell the plugin that it wants a particular resource on a particular. So with the help of plugin, the Terraform will tell it, the Terraform will demand a particular service to be on the particular cloud provider. With the help of plugin, a resource should be present on the resource should be provided to the particular cloud provider. All right, so this will be happen with the help of plugin. So let's scroll down and see. So you don't need to download and install the provider plugins manually. You can simply write Terraform in it to initialize it. Alright, so after the initialization, the plugins will be generated and installed, and when this will be installed, it will tell the cloud provider to provide the resources and create a repository in the GitHub. Alright, so let's clear this, and after that, if I write Terraform in it, you will see that it is now, it will give me, so it is giving me an installing option. Alright, so now the it has initialized the backend. Alright, successfully it is initialized. Alright, so after that, if you type ls-la again, you will see that these are the files that are created. Alright, so basically these files will contain the configuration data. So let's type lsa, and there is one directory that is present by the name of .terraform. So let's write ls.terraform. You will see that inside the Terraform that is there is a provider here, and this provider will show me all the providers like GitHub, AWS, and all the providers that I have added. So currently there is only one provider that I have written in the Terraform file, so it will show me the registry. And after that, let's type this directory, registry.terraform.io, and after that it is showing me the HashiCorp. So let's write HashiCorp, and after that it is giving me the provider GitHub. So let's write the GitHub, and now this is the plugin version that it is showing me. So let's go inside the plugin version, that is 5.7.0. After that, it is showing me the operating system in which the configuration file is present. So Linux, AMD 64, and now this is the provider, Terraform provider GitHub. Alright, so if I want to, first of all, I can simply clear this and show you this like this. Alright, this is the provider that it is shown to me, the GitHub one. Alright, after that, let's write the command again, but instead of writing ls, I will write the file. And after that, let's copy this data in the file name and press / file, paste the file name and click on this. Now if I increase the size of it, you will see the information of the cloud provider that it is shown to me, and you will also see that in which language this configuration file is built. So this is currently built in the Go language. Alright, so this is the Go build ID. So that's awesome. So let's decrease the size of the terminal, and after that, if you type ls to further get the subdirectories, you will get the providers that are used in the Terraform configuration, the plugin version for which the platform that is used, this is used, and in which language it is created. Alright, the resources or the configuration files or the resources are created. Alright, so after that, when you have applied it and when you have initialized when you have initialized the Terraform, and after successful initialization, now let's type the Terraform plan. So let's write Terraform plan. Now it will show me all the things that needs to be used in the Terraform. So it is showing me, I have shown you that the Terraform plan will show you the plan. So this is all the things that needs to be present in the working directory, and it will tell you that what the configuration will do. Alright, so all the things that, as you can see, that this is the plus sign, these things needs to be added. Alright, so this Terraform will perform the following actions. Alright, so these are the actions that Terraform will perform. After that, if you type Terraform apply, now the main thing that you need to do is to apply this, because before applying there will be it will only show the data that will be performed actions, but if you didn't apply it, the actions won't be performed. So let's apply this, Terraform apply, and now if it will ask me for a value to enter. I will write yes. Only yes will be accepted to approve. So let's click on this, and now you can see that it is giving me an error. Alright, so because the authentication required. Why? Because in the file that I want to show you, let's write terraform.tf, you can see that I have mentioned the resource here. This is the block of resource, and through this resource I want the repository to be created. But here in the GitHub repository, the GitHub provider, I didn't mention the account. Alright, because there are a lot of accounts in the GitHub. So in which account I should create a repository? This is the problem. Alright, so I need to mention my account which I'm using, and in that account this repository will be created. Alright, I hope you understood, because there are a lot of accounts that are created in the GitHub. So I need to mention my account specifically to create a repository in it. So for this purpose, open your GitHub account, click on your avatar. So let's open a GitHub account. GitHub, and now click on my avatar. Let's click on this, and now go to the settings. And after that, let's go to the developer settings. Alright, and after the developer settings, you will see the personal access tokens. So let's click on this, and after that it will give you two options. So I will click on the tokens classic. So it will be used for the general purpose. So as you can see that there are currently one token that I have created. So I will create another one. Click on this generate new token option. Alright, and I want to click on generate new token classic for general use. So let's click on this, and now what I need to do is to simply give it a name. So I will give it a name example token. Alright, and now it will give me an expiration date, and check all the boxes that it is shown to me. So let's check them, and here. Alright, so all the boxes are checked. Now let's click on this generate token. Now you can see that some of the scopes you have selected are included, only minimum set requires have been saved. Alright, so now this is the token that is created. Alright, so don't copy this token or not, don't use it, because when I will make this video, I will delete it. So after deletion, this token will not be used further. So copy this token, and now what I need to do is to use this token. So how can I use this? I will simply go to this terminal and the file that is currently present here, and I will simply I will write the token, and after that the double braces and then double commas, and then this token will be pasted here. Alright, so in this token or in this my account, the repository will be created. Alright, so let's first of all, I have already created a repository. Let's delete this one. Maybe it is present or not. As you can see that the repository is already created. First repo from Terraform. So this is the repository that I have created 40 minutes ago, but I need to delete this repository in order to create a new one. So let's delete this repository. Because this is the repository that I have created earlier. So this is not this new one. So the repository that will be created will be this new one. So let's save this, and write colon WQ and clear it. And now if I write Terraform apply, it will show me, it will give me an option to enter a value. I will press yes, and now the repository is going to be created. Alright, so as you can see that this repository is successfully completed. So as you can see that currently there are 13. If I refresh my page, as you can see that 70 seconds ago, first repo from Terraform. So this is the title or the name of the repository. This is the description. Alright, and the repository is public. Alright, as you can see, and this is the readme file that I have made it equal to true, auto in it. Alright, so this is working fine. So now let's move to the description to show you. If you type enter the value yes, it will give you an authentication error because we didn't define the GitHub account. Alright, for that purpose, open your GitHub account, click on avatar, go to settings, go to developer setting by scrolling down, go to personal access token and tokens classic. Click on generate a token, give the token a name, click check all the boxes. Alright, we have checked it, and click on the generate new token option. After that, you will be provided a token that you just need to copy it and then write it in the provider like this. Alright, I have written the token and it will be written like this. Save the file, go to the terminal and write the Terraform apply command again to make the repository in the GitHub. Alright, so this is how the repository is now is created. So that's it. So I hope you like this video. So if you liked it, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, then ask those questions in the comment section below. So I'll be happy to answer all of them. So till then, goodbye.